Hello and welcome students for yet another class on banking operations. Today I'll start the first module, that is the banker and the customer. Let us try to understand who is a banker and a customer. Banker, bank, banker, banking company is an organization or institution which essentially performs two functions: accepting deposits from the public and lending it for investment, for agriculture or for industry purpose. Right? Then customer of a bank. A customer of a bank means a person who has an account with a bank. The word customer has not been defined either in England or in India, but there are various opinions regarding the meaning of customer. The customer of any person who fulfills three conditions or satisfies three conditions can be considered as the customer of a bank. The first condition is that he should open an account with the bank. The second one is he must be making banking transaction. Third, there must be frequency of transaction. These three conditions are important for a person to be known as the customer of a bank. Whenever a customer opens a bank account by depositing money or a check, the relationship between a banker and the customer starts. The relationship between the banker and the customer is a contractual relationship or a agreement between two parties. The relationship between the banker and the customer can be broadly classified into two types. One is the general relationship and special relationship. The general relationship is further divided into two types, that is the primary relationship and the subsidiary relationship. The special relationship of a banker is divided into three types: bailer and bailee, trustee and beneficiary, principal and agent. So let us discuss the general relationship or the primary relationship between the banker and the customer. The primary or the general relationship between the banker and the customer is of the debtor and a creditor. When the banker receives the money from the customer by way of deposit, the banker is the debtor and the customer is the creditor. On the contrary, when the customer has taken loan from the bank or customer's account is overdrawn, in such case the banker becomes the creditor and the customer becomes the debtor. You know the relationship of a debtor and a creditor. The person who borrows money is the debtor. The person who lends money is the creditor. So therefore, when a person deposits or opens an account and deposits money in the bank is receiving the money. So therefore, he becomes the debtor. Customer is paying the money. So therefore, he becomes the creditor. On the contrary, if the customer takes loan from the bank, the customer becomes the debtor and the bank becomes the creditor. The banker is called as a dignified debtor. Why is he called as a dignified debtor? Let us try to understand. The first one is he borrows in the dignified name. The banker borrows the banker receives the money from his customer in a dignified name, or he calls it as deposits and he does not call it as loan or borrowing. So therefore, he is a dignified debtor. Secondly, dignified place of borrowing. The creditor, that is the depositor, has to go to the debtor for giving the deposit or amount. In other words, the creditor goes to the debtor to deposit the money. But in the ordinary commercial debt, debtor goes to the creditor. Here it is creditor only goes to the debtor. That's why he is called as a dignified debtor. Due date for payment. Due date is not fixed for repayment in the banks. Banker has to repay the deposits only when he is asked by the customer to do so. But in commercial debt, debtor has to repay the debt on the due date. Imagine a person takes loan from somebody. When he takes loan from someone, there is a particular date of repayment. After 3 months, after 1 month, a particular date will be given to the debtor. But in case of banker and customer, there is no particular date of repayment. Whenever the customer demands for the payment, the banker will make the payment. So therefore, there is no due date for payment. That's why he is called as a dignified debtor. Then similarly, security for borrowing. The banker will not give any security to the customer for the deposits. In commercial debt, debtor has to give the security to creditor for borrowing, right? Then place of repayment. Banker cannot be asked by the customer to repay the deposit at a branch other than the one where the deposit is kept. But in commercial debts, the creditor can ask the debtor at any place for repayment. So these special features make the banker a dignified debtor. Okay. The second special feature of debtor creditor relationship is customer is only a general creditor. Why a customer is called only a general creditor? Because the banker will not give any security to the customer for receiving deposit from the customer. The customer will not get any priority in the event of liquidation of bank. So customer is an ordinary or unsecured creditor of the bank. Third, demand is necessary for payment. The demand for payment must be made by the creditor. Banker accepts deposit from the customer subject to repayable. There must be a demand from the customer for repayment of the deposit due from the banker to the customer. It means that the banker himself will not repay the money deposited by the customer. It is the duty of the customer to ask for the repayment. Then the fourth one is demand should be made in at proper place. The depositor, that is the creditor, has to visit the branch in person for receiving the repayment of deposit, and the deposit should be made during only the working day and during business hours only, and the demand should be made in proper form. Demand should be made in proper form means that the demand for repayment should be made in writing, either through a printed check forms supplied by the banker or through withdrawal slips supplied by the banker. Okay, so I hope you are clear. The primary relationship between the banker and the customer is that of a debtor and a creditor. The banker, when a customer opens an account, he becomes the debtor, banker is the creditor. When the customer takes loan from the bank, bank is the creditor, customer is the debtor. Okay, then there are certain special features to this relationship of a debtor and a creditor relationship. First one is banker is a dignified debtor. Why? Because he borrows in a dignified name. He due date for repayment is not there. Security for borrowing is not there. Place for repayment is mentioned. Demand for repayment has to be made. That's why he is called as a dignified debtor. And the customer is only a general creditor, and demand is necessary for repayment. Demand should be made at a proper place, that is the branch where the account is opened by the customer. Similarly, demand should be made only on working day and during business hours. Demand for repayment cannot be made on holidays or Sundays. It cannot, during the Sundays or holidays, payment cannot be made by the banker to the customer. Then demand should be made in proper form, that is either using checks or withdrawal slips given by the banker. So you all know all these features of debtor and creditor relationship, as you might have already opened a bank account and you might have carried out transactions between you, and you must have carried on several transactions between you and the banker, right? So now next we'll move on to the second type of general relationship between the banker and the customer. That is the first one among that is bailor and bailee. When a customer deposits securities and valuables for safe custody, in such cases, banker is called bailee and customer is called bailor. Okay. The second one, trustee and beneficiary. When a banker is entrusted with some trust work, that is to safeguard the property of some person. Example, when a customer deposits money for the son's education, it is the duty of the banker that the money should be used for education purpose only, but not for others. In such cases, the banker becomes trustee and the customer becomes the beneficiary. Third, principal and agent. Modern banks render certain agency services for the attraction and convenience of their customer. Say for example, paying LIC premium, collection of checks, paying dividend, paying interest on behalf of the customer. In such case, the bank becomes the agent and the customer becomes the principal. Okay, so I hope you are clear with the relationship between banker and the customer. So let me revise a little from the beginning. So today we discussed about who is a banker or what is a bank. A banker or banking is an company or institution which accepts deposits from the public and lends for the same to the people who are in need. A customer of a bank means a person who has an account in the bank. In order to call a person as a customer of a bank, first condition is he should have a bank account. Second, there should be transaction between the banker and the customer. Third, there must be frequency in the transaction. Okay. The relationship between the banker and the customer is a contractual relationship, or it is an agreement between both the parties. The relationship of a customer and a banker is broadly classified into two types, general and special relationship. In today's class, we have discussed about the first one, the first type, that is the general relationship, and we have discussed only the first part, that is the general relationship, which is further divided into primary relations and subsidiary relations. Primary relation of a debtor, of a banker and a customer is that of a debtor and a creditor. When the customer opens a bank account, he is the debtor, banker is the creditor. When the customer takes loan from the bank, banker is the creditor, customer is the debtor. Then there are certain special features of the debtor and creditor relationship. First one is banker is a dignified debtor. Second, customer is only a general creditor. Demand is necessary for repayment of deposits. Demand should be made in proper place, that is at the branch. Demand should be made only on the working days or only during the business hours. Demand should be made in the proper form, that is in writing, either through checks or through withdrawals. Okay, this is about the first relationship, that is the general or the primary relationship. Then we discuss the subsidiary relationship. There are three types of subsidiary relationship. First one is bailor and bailee. When a customer opens a locker or when he deposits securities or valuables for safe custody, in such case he becomes the in such case banker is a bailee and customer is a bailor. Trustee and beneficiary. Sometimes the customers entrust the banker with some trust work. They ask them to safeguard the property or they deposit money for the children's education. It is the duty of the banker to utilize such money deposited for that particular purpose only and not for any other purpose. In such case, banker is the trustee and customer is the beneficiary. The third and the last subsidiary relationship between the banker and the customer is that of a principal and agent. Banker renders many services to his customers like accepting, collecting his checks, paying dividends, receiving dividends, paying interest on behalf of his customer, then paying his LIC policy, then purchasing shares on behalf of his customers, purchasing securities on behalf of his customer. In all such cases, the banker is the agent and the customer is the principal. Okay. Why I am stressing is because you will be asked case studies on this question. They will give you a question. Say, for example, when a person deposits, find out the relationship between the banker and the customer under the following circumstance. When a person deposits valuables, securities with the bank. For that, what relationship will be established in that situation? Bailor and bailee relationship between the banker and the customer will be established, right? Bailee is the banker, bailor is the customer. Then they might ask, the bank pays the LIC premium on behalf of its customer. What is the relationship between the banker and the customer? When the bank make payment on behalf of its customer, the principal and agent relationship is established. Customer is the principal, bank is the agent, right? Then a customer entrusts the bank 1 lakh rupees for his son's education purpose. In what is the relationship between the customer and the banker? Now, in this case, the relationship between the banker and the customer is that of a trustee and the beneficiary. The bank is the trustee and the customer is the beneficiary, right? So this kind of case studies will be asked in the question papers. So you must be able to analyze and find out the relationship that exists between the banker and the customer. With this, I conclude today's class. Thank you.